This is my first ever computer that I had in 1983 when I was 10, 11 years old. It's a Texas Instruments TI-99 4A. It was released in 1981. Recently I moved house and I discovered it in a box, and I had a moment where I plugged it in and it still worked after over 30 years old. It was a little bit slow. It did though have these amazing ROM cartridges and a slot here which you could plug in, and I guess, you know, not interpreted BASIC, was written in direct assembly language. So a ROM cartridge which you could plug in would be a lot faster to play any games that you wanted to play. It's got a joystick port here on the side. It looks like a standard Atari style joystick port, but to stop you using Atari joysticks, Texas Instruments changed the pinout on that plug, on that D plug. So they're joysticks which look like this. Although they have the Atari style joystick port, it was a different pinout, but actually somebody was clever enough to build a converter so that you could then plug in a converter and then plug in your standard Atari joysticks. The modulator is there. What that is that to see your computer, you had to plug it into a TV screen, and so this is the power modulator. So that goes in to the back of the computer, and that goes into your aerial socket. To get this to work the other day, I had to remember, in our all digital world, where on my TV the analog TV setting was, and then scan through. It even says TV UHF channel 36. And then I had to tune my TV to the modulator. It's then on the side, this is the best bit, and I never did this, and if you search online more, it's got an expansion port here. Open it up, and the idea was that you could plug in peripherals, and your peripheral, I can't say the word peripheral, would also have an expansion slot on the side, so you could daisy chain things. So your computer would end up on the far left-hand side of a desk, and everything plugged in. You could have a speech synthesizer, you could have a printer, you could have expansion slots. Yeah, I never did that. I just had the basic computer. What I find most amazing, a couple of things, is that on the keyboard, there's no backspace delete key. You couldn't backspace. You could arrow left and then do that thing where you delete and you delete things in, but you couldn't go back and delete at the same time. Also, it's got no lowercase, as we'll see in a minute. The lowercase is just a smaller version of the uppercase, which is fantastic. So we're going to plug it in. I'll show a quick bit of BASIC, and then Vicky, would you like to play a game?
Yes.
We'll get you playing a game. Let's plug it in. And it works. The signal's a bit wobbly. That should be a pure white. That's not white, is it? That's a kind of a blue. We're going to press 1 for TI Basic, and straight away, there was a slight pause. TI Basic ready. I'm going to go with the classic program of all time. Print, and you can see it's in a weird lowercase. Let's turn that caps lock on. Hello world. Enter 20. Go to 10. And already I'm predicting there's a problem here, because when I hit run, I don't know what the command is to break out. Is it Control C? Not Control C, Shift C, quit, function quit. Yeah, function quit. That's like a Control Alt Delete. It's a bit weird. You have to press function P to get the quotes character. That's just one character away from pressing function quit and resetting the whole computer. And you had to load in games. There's no floppy disk. This is my original cassette recorder. This again is also 30 years old. It's mono only. I plugged it in the other day. There's no stereo output. And I even found a couple of old games that I bought. Space Trek by Parco Electrics brought out a game which you would load on to your TI-99 4A. But we're going to play, I've got Miss Pac-Man, Pole Position, Donkey Kong. What do you fancy playing?
So, Geoff got this in 1983, and I was born in 1983. Was it wobbly like this on a screen when you first? He's nodding when you first had it. So it was sort of this kind of picture quality. So press any key. I'm tempted to press the Enter key. Oh, so we want Miss Pac-Man number 2. Do I have to do anything else? Oh no. Press 2 for 2. Play again. Are you going to play with me? No. Okay. Oh. So I only really know what this game is about because... Oh, joystick's not working. Oh, yes it is. It's not very responsive. Oh, what's the cherry do? Move! I can't move. Oh my God, no! You can still play games like this, I guess, today, like if you go into an arcade. So there's always a fun element. It's a game, so it's fun. But I mean, the picture quality is really poor. Okay, I have to go now because I'm being chased by ghosts. Okay, thanks, bye. Ah!